How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Well, if you're paying attention, you know that we've only got about a month left before the election. Early voting has started in a lot of places. If you're already decided, that may be an option for you. If not, I know a lot of people prefer to show up on election day. I have voted early in recent elections, but generally I prefer to show up on election day. That said, this year, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to vote early again. Uh, Early voting has not started yet here in Iowa. It will soon. But the reason I will be voting early is because I plan on taking that day taking election day to volunteer to drive people to the polls, those who otherwise may have difficulty getting there. Those who maybe they didn't request an absentee ballot or mail-in ballot. Maybe they couldn't get out to vote early. They want to vote. They're reliable voters. And they're just not able to get there until election day, or for whatever reason, for tradition, they only vote on election day. And I understand and respect that. Honestly, that's my personal preference as well. But given the circumstances, how important this election is, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be volunteering to drive people to go vote. And honestly, if you have the time and the vehicle, the space in your vehicle, and the inclination to do so, I would encourage you to do something very similar. Whether you're volunteering with a political party or some other organization to drive people to go vote, that's fine. But make sure that you are talking to your friends, your neighbors, the people you don't like. Make sure you're talking to them. Explaining to them the importance of this election. Why we need to get everyone out to vote. Why our country is at stake here. You already know how I'm voting. I've made that pretty clear on this channel. And I make no apologies for that. And in fact, I'm going to encourage everyone, particularly in the swing states, to vote for Kamala Harris. Turns out my state of Iowa, which I thought for sure was going to go red, is actually in play right now. It's traditionally been a swing state, but it's been red in recent elections. Florida, also in play. So, if you live in Florida, make sure you get out and vote. Texas is surprisingly close. There are people in Texas who think that it just might flip. Do I think it'll flip? Probably not, but you never know. So, if you live in Texas, make sure you go vote. So all of the swing states, there's a few that are not really in play, and maybe I won't say that your vote doesn't matter, because it does. There are down-ballot races as well that you need to consider. So make sure you're voting for your local officials. Make sure you're voting for your state officials, for your federal officials, up and down the ballot. Like I said, I told you, I'm voting for Harris in this election. This will be my first time ever actually voting for the Democrat for president. Prior to 2016, I had always voted for the Republican. In 2016, I voted third party, and in 2020, I voted, I wrote someone in. So, and writing someone in, I knew that candidate wasn't even going to win, especially since that candidate wasn't even a candidate. Had no desire to ever have the job. But yeah, and 2016, I actually went with Evan McMullen because he was proactively trying to play spoiler. Turns out he wasn't able to do that. Well, this time around, there's too much at stake. Way too much at stake. So, make sure you vote. If you're able to help other people get to vote, do that. Like I said, I'll be driving people to the polls on election day. So, if you can do the same thing, do the same thing. You know, I don't care if you vote early, vote by mail, vote in person on election day. Makes no difference to me. Right? Those who will tell you that mail-in voting is not secure and think that that's how fraud occurs, well, keep in mind, a lot of them vote by mail themselves. So if they vote by mail, why are they telling you not to? And also, you've probably heard that. That's Molly. She sees someone walking over there. So, you know, that's all right. Goofy dog. But anyway, where was I? Yeah. So, yeah, make sure you vote. Obviously, I want you to vote for Harris, especially if you're in a swing state. But you're going to vote the way that you're going to vote. All right? If you disagree with me, obviously you're not going to vote to agree with me. And hopefully you change your mind between now and Election Day, and if you don't, well, so be it. You know, I can't tell you how to vote. I can just tell you how I'm going to vote. And obviously, if I'm voting that way, I want you to agree with me because I want that candidate to win. If there is something that you can do to help other people vote, do that. All right? If it's your thing to help to volunteer with whichever party you're affiliated with, do that. If you're able to volunteer with nonpartisan organizations, do that. You know, just make sure that you're. It's probably too late to register in most places because of how close we are to Election Day. But if you're registered, make sure to vote. See you next time.